This song is called In Out, 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 In Out. There is one variation, one variation. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome everyone to the Princeton Athletic Club Rugby Football Club 50th Anniversary Banquet and Hall of Fame. So tonight is a culmination of a year-long celebration of PAC Rugby. We watched Six Nations Rugby together at the North Brunswick Pub in the late winter and early spring. Played 2 spirited over 45 matches up in Lake Placid. Spirited because we got our asses kicked. But hey, we got to play, right? We had a great golf outing with 24 players in attendance, and we got to watch our men's side play a full side of 15 players, plus subs this fall, which in case you don't know, that's a huge accomplishment. These guys were down to 6 people, coming out the training, and now they're plus 30, so it's a hell of an accomplishment. Congratulations, guys. Along the way, long-time PAC members came back and new PAC members joined the fold. Overall, I think everything was well attended, and we were able to give everyone that great feeling of what it means to be a part of PAC Rugby. So thank you to everyone who came out to one, several, or all the events throughout the year. For me, who try to put a lot of it together really means a lot. So thank you for your support coming out, just coming back into the fold. Before we start tonight, we're gonna take a moment to recognize a couple of people, a couple of our PAC brothers who are no longer with us. Their names aren't listed in your programs. Some of these names you may know, some of them you may not. But each one of these names was a person that will always be remembered as a member of PAC Rugby. Whether it be their play on the pitch, their antics off the pitch, their laugh, their smile, or even a rant about having beer poured on them during a rookie lift. Each of these men wore the orange and black, spilt blood and sweat next to us, and they left their impression upon us. And because of that, their name, their legacy will always live on. Thank you, Matt. Right now, we're going to have a few quick words from Tom Newf. Laura? Tom?
Hey,
Come on real quick.
My name's Tom Laura. Pirelli officially named me Duke because after the one Montreal game, I flew to Duke. So I became Duke. Still Duke. What I have with me, which I was walking around with, trying to get everybody to sign this big big thing John Burke knows all about. I got about 2/3 of you right now. If you haven't signed it, find me over that side. All you gotta do is write your first name, nickname, if you have a nickname, last name, the from and to dates when you played, so you know the second person screwed it up. It's so hard to understand is when you do it, okay? Someone else crossed something out, it's beyond belief. But everybody has stayed within the lines, which amazes me. That's the good thing. It's really simple. I'm very happy to have sent it to Tom Pirelli in Florida, who's not doing well. A month ago when I got it back, I couldn't see Hayden last week because he's not doing well at all. So the two people who basically started the team by having a meeting. My argument is one of the originals, the team did not start in 1974. That was a meeting they had. The team starts with the first practice, okay?
That was started in 1776 with a meeting as well.
Touche. So that's that. Okay. But no, it's a thing I've started. I told Johnny, I said I'm going to give it to him. I don't know, I think there's 39 signatures on it right now with our men's and women's teams. If you haven't signed it, I'm over there, or we'll have it over there someplace. Simple to do. Do it. It won't be completed tonight. I'm going to give it to Johnny. I have pictures I'm going to put on it. What'll happen then is wait till the next big game or the next old boys game when you have it. You're going to have a pop-out frame. Get those people to sign it. When that's done, I actually have a blank one I'm going to give you. Okay, so that's perfect. It's going to be color coded too. So therefore, no, and just have it and have it. If I had done this, it's one of these things. I'm 76. When you get older, you think about why didn't I do that when I was 56? Why didn't I do that whenever? Okay, if I had done this at the 50th, at the 40th year, we'd be on 1.5 right now. You say, why should I sign it? Don't sign it if you don't want to sign it. Who cares? The thing is, no, if you don't sign it, that's fine. But at the 60th reunion, if you did sign it, you're going to go right over and find your name. That's just the way it works. You're like a little kid in school. You want to see the picture. If you didn't sign it, you're going to sign it that night. And your name's going to be at the bottom of people who don't know. So it's worthwhile. It's for the team. That's what it's for. I actually have a rugby team, a rugby ball, that I'm going to give you. I spent it today, signed by everybody from the every 5 seasons I played, from 75 to 77. Well, that's cool. Most of the names have faded out. Ends up you can't sign a rugby ball and leave it in a window. And I know Pirelli was screaming the first year because I'm wasting a rugby ball. And it's a brand new minor. So that's my words. Have a good time. Whatever old boys you see at that table, wish as well, because we're not going to be here at the next one.
I got 20 on the ball.
What's weird is, everybody here is signed very nicely. Some people put the dates wrong. Some they did everything. Okay, the second person messed it up. But the old boys have signed so neatly and so precisely. It's unbelievable. And we write. We don't print. We write because we learn cursive in school. Back in the old days. So once again, we're happy to see you. Have a good night. We wish you continued success in what John.
If you have any questions, see Tom throughout the night. But you know, that's a great thing that he's doing. That's preserving the legacy. One of the things, you know about me, I love history. I love legacy stuff. I love keeping things alive and, you know, keeping all in one area. So you look around all these jerseys, about 98% of these jerseys I own. And it's just because I love consolidating everything. I've asked old boys, hey, if you don't need them, I'll take them from you. I'll put them together, put them in the bin. So they're in my attic. And I do that so when we come back, we can put them all on display. Everyone can see the evolution of our jerseys, all the styles. You know, from the heavy cottons up here in the front to the, you know, the multi-polyester jerseys that are coming out now. You got a question?
No, I just want to let you know, I'd watch them because Sandra's over there. Where's Xander? He'll still have them, dude. He'll have 98% of the jerseys.
Jewish kid. The Mexican calling the Jew a thief? Whoa!
You know what? I don't speak that language.
Moving right along, everybody. We got a lot to cover. Next, we're actually going to have Hugh Fitzpatrick. Please come on up. A few words from Hayden Smith. On behalf of Hayden Smith.
Hayden Harris, who's one of the founders of the club, can't be here tonight. Hayden was a character. Maybe Tinkerbell Harris, dressed up in his little Tinkerbell outfit. He was very cute. But anyway, Hayden can't be here tonight, sort of last minute. It's a shame. Hayden was along with Tom, both co-founders of the club. Sadly, neither could be here, but anyway, Hayden just said, I sense a few things, could you say a few things? And so, anyway, I'm gonna try and stumble my way through these words that Hayden sent me with a couple of editorials. But and I wish I could do it in a Welsh accent. He sort of had, it was mostly Welsh, I guess. You know, Hayden loved his Welshness. But anyway, my name is Hayden. Someone recognized me tonight. I was going to come in my Tinkerbell outfit wearing a curly wig with lace bandages. And the lace bandages are a reference to the fact that Hayden almost never ran wind sprints after practice because he always had a hamstring issue, and he looked like Bambi at practice because he'd have these sort of white bandages he'd sort of sneak up and wrap around his legs. And, I can't run sprints at the end of the day. But anyway, so, it said, he goes on to say, now I'm a respectable gentleman, older gentleman. The older part I would agree with, but I'm not sure about the rest. But anyway, just a little bit of history about the formation of the club. As Hayden says, I was first introduced to Tom when I started to work at a company where Tom was employed in late 1973. First time I met Tom, I was introduced as an Englishman, which obviously didn't sit very well. He said, hell no, I'm Welsh. Tommy just said, do you play rugby? He goes, hell yeah. Do you know all these songs? He goes, I know them all. That was enough to kind of start the relationship. So Hayden kind of said, you know, I play sometimes with Royalstown. You want to join us? And the two decided to start a club. And the rest is how we started. But so two guys kind of scrambling around. They, you know, canvassed YMCA's, gyms, talking to people we knew. I actually found the club on the corner of Witherspoon Street and Nassau Street. There's sort of an old signboard. In the old days, you went around the stapler and you kind of staple all this. This board was full of all these white pieces of paper. Well, there's this last one on was, Princeton Rugby. We're looking for players and so forth. So I mean, there was a big recruiting drive going on. At the end of the day, they managed to find 2 Englishmen, a Scotsman, an Irishman, a New Zealander, a Frenchman, a South African, plus me, a Welshman, and a half dozen Americans, enough to kind of start the bulk of the club. All were invited to Tom's apartment, where we began originally called ourselves the Princeton Internationals. That was the original name of the club. So that didn't work so well because the Internationals all left. No, but a good number, and they were a great addition. But anyway, so here we were. Princeton University had the name of Princeton Rugby Club, became the Princeton Athletic Rugby Club, and the emphasis, I'll come back to it later on, but the emphasis on rugby, on athletics. So anyway, so Tom did the fixtures, joined the union, I collected the dues for beer, rugby balls and rugby balls. And I was sort of the sergeant of arms to Tom, who was always in charge, 100% committed to everything he did, and he always picked on me as the right-hand man. So one of my first duties in late February, as the club was being founded, was to Tom said, hey, let's go look at the field. We're playing over on the university field there. And so Hayden said, great, lunchtime, good meal, a couple of beers, a few yaks, a little chin wag, and right out in the afternoon. So I get to the pitch, and Tom's got a shovel and a bucket. He says, go in the woods over there and get some dirt, because we got to fill in these holes over here in the pitch with some grass seed. So anyway, that was Hayden's kind of contribution early on. But after that, he became the treasurer of the firm. They started the club, and they went to the place for a liquor store and said, we'd like to open an account here. Here's a big event going on. They said, well, how much do you have? And he said, in the bank we got $8,000 ready to go. It was about $32.25. Half the dues hadn't been paid. But Hayden got the club started that way, and we never ran out of beer. But so I'm going to move along because I'm sure I'm losing the legs a little bit, all these memories. But I guess what Hayden really wanted to say was that we're much more than a rugby club, okay? And I mean, that's the basis upon which we're all on the pitch. But he and Tom really believed that being a member of the club was much more than just practices and games and the celebration afterwards. But it was really about loyalty and friendship and just hanging together as people enjoying life. And that's where the club went. And when it said athletic club, we played squash. It was really more block the tee, so that how you gonna push somebody out and where it was there were camping trips, there were canoe trips, there was softball games. There was it was just kind of a group of guys that really truly enjoyed themselves. And I think that's from all the emails that have gone around. It's one of the old timers. It's still in the club's DNA, which is really just fantastic. Everyone really feels part of something, and that's a great thing to be part of. So the last thing that I really want to emphasize is and they do deserve a reward. The women who were either wives or girlfriends of those initial clubs really gave a lot. Body songs, everybody wanted to say less than appropriate. But more important, they were there every weekend. When we started the club, the idea was we're not just going to have a keg of beer after the sidelines and have a couple of beers and see you guys later and off to the club. There was a full dinner for every visiting club at the parties. So we had a keg or two on the field. We said, hey, let's go back to this place. We've got dinner, it's all provided, and then beer, and the night went on. And that's one thing that was part of this club. We really hosted and enjoyed the community of playing on the pitch. So I'm going to leave it at that. One last thing, because it's been so important in my life, just as a little personal note, I came back to Princeton where I grew up, totally lost. Totally lost as a person. No idea what to do. Spent a year hitchhiking around the country, college graduate, no job, and just kind of said, what the fuck am I doing here? What am I going to do? And I saw that advertisement on Witherspoon Street, Nassau Street, and I found a home. They saved me, and that's what rugby does for you guys.
One of the original women wives is actually here today.
Thank you very much. Just really quick to go along the lines of the history and all. Over here in the corner, I've asked all boys to bring back some of the trophies the club has won. We've had a couple, some really crazy stuff over there. So when you get a chance, just go over there, take a look at everything. Yeah, it's so cool to see all this stuff, you know, the crazy antics of everything of all the club has done. So, moving right along, we're gonna go and have our current men's president, Ian Baelish. Give a few words on the status.
Go, you good? Yeah. Look at that suit. He looks great. That's my president. What a handsome man. What is that?
Everybody, I'm Ian, and I'm very grateful to be here tonight. You know, we've always had this idea of the greater club, and nights like these, we actually get to feel it. You know, we always tell the troops you exist. So it's real tonight, and it's wonderful. I joined the club about 6 years ago, and they exhausted all the other candidates about 5 years ago. They let me become president, and it's been nice. I joined the club a few months after I moved from Pittsburgh, and Coach Jay took me in immediately, and I was set since then. We've had some good runs over the years, but it really started to change this fall. It felt sustainable. Part of that, you know, we always had our anchor Tom coach us. And then,
Roll.
we kind of last year's out, and but then last fall Eddie showed up, Michael Copley, and this guy, Michael Brickley, showed up in the USA shirt, all jacked. I was like, he's not a recruiter. Are we in trouble? But anyways, no, he was just here to spread the joy of rugby, and you know, the fall went great. We had played every game, and culminated in us beating Union Eastside, which everyone's really happy about. That gave us some energy. You know, we'll get there, Eastside soon. You know, I gave us some energy. Eddie kept up the winter touch, which kept people in. And then the spring carried on kind of the same way as the fall. We played tough. We had 15 good enough. And we never gave up. We played tough. We tried to make sure teams didn't want to play us. And then sevens was going well. We had a few tournaments. We had a few new guys, college guys, Jared and Leo over there from Seton Hall. Then we had our own tournament. We were able to enter 2 full teams, and it went pretty well. So we thought, as Michael Dalgan knows, I messed up and told us to use the wrong field. So we got kicked out of South Brunswick, apparently forever. But he didn't like me calling him a month later. That was not good. But me, you know, I was feeling glum for a little while, but fortunately our recruiting chair Liam and our social chair Max were working behind the scenes. They were working behind the scenes and I didn't even realize it. As soon as Eddie started to touch and I showed up and all these people just appeared. We had like 10 new guys, and you know, preseason went on, and we had our first game. It was up in Hudson Valley, and we had like 18, 19 people there, which is more than we had ever had in the fall. We didn't have any mamas for 18, 19 people there, all the way up 2 hours away. And then, you know, I thought this is great. And then Max, big part of our team, really messed up his ankle, and it was just hanging there. And but none of the new guys left. They all came back next Tuesday, so they were in. They weren't scared away. And over the course of the season, we just kept going and kept building. And you know, some of the things that I'm sorry, I forget your name. Last man just mentioned about building a real club. I've been here 6 years, and it finally feels possible with our guys now. You know, we were able to talk about an off-season lifting program. And I'm being too slow, and I was always the one to talk about it. They're all yelling at me to get it going. So there's a lot of reason to be hopeful for the team in the future. And almost all the new guys are here tonight. I mean, they're in it. So,
Thanks, Iggy.
education right there. All right, thank you very much, Egan. Again, Egan Baelish, president of the men's club. One thing I forgot to mention, just regarding, again, the history of the club and everything. On your tables are pamphlets. It's the first newsletter of the club. It was emailed to me. I printed up a bunch of copies, threw it on there. Please take it home. Old boys, you know it. You can leave it there. But everyone else, please take the copy home. If you need one, I'll email it to you. Just reach out to me, let me know. It's great. It's a great read, guys. There's a lot of funny stuff in there, a lot of stories, and you really get a sense of where this club came from. Okay, next we have the current women's president, Hannah Stafford.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah. A little bit shorter. Updates, okay. This was the first year for PAC Women's that we did 15s. If you didn't know, we had only really done 7s before this, but we had the opportunity this year to join the EGU D3 as a developmental team. So we played a lot of friendlies. The numbers weren't ideal. We did a lot of 10s, a lot of 12s, a little bit of 15s. But we were a brand new team. Some of us to rugby in general, all of us to playing with each other really. I mean, even our summer 7s team last year, I think there was like 2 of us to this year. So I just want to say I'm really proud of us for coming together and all playing for the first time as a team this year. And we didn't do too bad either, I will say. Yeah, a lot of growth, even though it was pretty hard, and I just want to shout out my team over there. It can be kind of difficult coming back to a sport you're new to, where you're getting your ass kicked every weekend for like a month and a half, but they really did it. They really showed up, and our recruiting is looking really good going into the future. So it looks like for the spring and the summer at least, we will be able to play a full side. Even more exciting because this coming year, 2025, will be our 10th year as a team. So just a good way to celebrate our 10th anniversary, you know, fielding a full 15s team and playing together for 7s as well. And overall, it was just really nice to connect with other teams that we had played against for years in 7s, and they really lent us a hand. So we also wouldn't really be anywhere without them as well. Let me see my notes. Yeah, just overall, I think I want to give a shout out to the team, as I already did. The old girls for setting this up. You know, I mean, they set it up. They set it up 10 years ago for 7s. I don't know their plans. I don't know if they ever thought it would, you know, come to fruition for us to be 15s, but we're getting out there and we're staying out there. And that's all due to them and overall the men's team and the men's team for helping us out, and mostly our coach Eddie. The women's program really wouldn't be anything without him this past season, and every season before that wouldn't be anything without him, and this team wouldn't be anything without him. So we kind of owe it all to him. That's all I got, though. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Hannah. Again, the president of the Women's Club, thank you. All right, so moving right along in our program, I want to recognize several groups that have had a major impact on PAC Rugby and really made PAC such an incredible club. Each of these groups provided their own kindling that kept the PAC Rugby fire burning for over 50 years. As I call each group, please stand up if you're a member of that group and just be recognized by your PAC family. All right, so first, I would like to thank our founders. Without them, none of us would be here. So if you're a founder, please stand up. Or if you want to become a founder, please stand up. Awesome. Thank you again, gentlemen. I'm truly honored to have you here today. Thank you. Next, we want to recognize the Hall of Famers in attendance. You can recognize those with the bright orange blazers that we really try together today. Please stand up. Please stand up. Thank you. Thank you, Hall of Famers.
Put it on, Rafi, put it on! Put it on!
Next, we have our PAC Men of the Year. We were supposed to have a plaque here. Thank you, Carlos, for not bringing it.
Not to put any fingers.
There's Carlos.
But just in case, we introduce superlatives and do annual banquets, and the PAC Men of the Year award, which is somebody who, not only did stuff on the field, but off the field, really drove home this PAC family and just was always there, did blood, sweat, and tears. But if you remember, if you're one of those people who were PAC Men of the Year, please stand up and be recognized. Oh yeah, we got some repeats. I think Tom is a repeat, Spalding, you're a repeat, so
Over here.
guys. Hopefully next year, Keegan will hand out the award. Now we'll make it the PAC Member of the Year, so we get incorporate the men's and the women's side, all right?
Yeah.
Best of PAC. All right. Next, we have, I was hoping to see a little bit more, but founders of our women's side, the first PAC women's team, which is the 17, which Hannah mentioned earlier. I think we have one. You ushered this old man club into the 21st century. All right, and just in keeping with the PAC women's side, the members of our PAC women, please stand up. 15, come forward. Truly, one of the best things that come out of my time as being PAC president was the creation of the women's side. So special shout out to, again, Eddie Torres for getting that going. Shelby, Bianca, she unfortunately can't be here, was very instrumental in getting that ball rolling and being part of that foundation of the side. But I also think Jay Del Grosso, you were instrumental in all that, helping out, so thank you, Jay, appreciate it. Okay, next, I would like to recognize the current members of the executive committee, the unsung heroes of the club. Yeah! Please stand up.
Hannah, you're up! Hannah! Stand up!
Many of us know how, in this room, we know how hard it is to be an EC member. calling people up. Are you playing this weekend? What are you doing? Pay your dues. Pay your dues. Pay your dues. It's a lot of work. So we know the show is. So thank you for being here. And then to add to that list, anyone in this room who was previously on the executive committee, please stand up and thank you for all of our.
Here again, it's everybody. Everybody's been on the EC. Everybody.
In case you didn't realize, a lot of these guys keep standing up are wearing orange shots. That's the goal. That's the end game.
That's exactly how you.
And last but certainly not least, guys who push us to be better players, hassle us, yell at us, pick us up when we're down sometimes, but are there for us and to teach us this crazy game. The past coaches or current men's and women's coaches of PAC Rugby. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment in making us better rugby players, and sorry for giving you many headaches. All right, lastly, before we get into the Hall of Fame portion of our program, I'm going to welcome up the current women's head coach, one of the men's coaches, guy who I started, I think only a season before him, but played with him for 20 plus years. Great friend, Eddie Torres.
Hard for me to let these kinds of things in, but I appreciate you all more than you know. So I got a couple notes here. Just make it fairly quick, okay? For those who know me, there's not a lot you need me to say because you've probably heard me say it to you already, and it's all with love, and you know that. So what I'm going to say real quick is a quick shout to the ladies team. Again, the 10 years, they went by fairly quickly, but boy did we grow, right? And in the shorts that I'll make here, I want to just connect the dots here. Shelby Beasy, right? Jay started all off. He said, Eddie, you said you'd only coach if there was a women's team. He called me up. He said, there's this lady, Shelby, I don't know who she is, but she's into it. And that's how it started. Shelby and I, we formed Storm, Norm, Perform. I remember she took me out to, I forget which bar it was, somewhere on Route 1 and said, Eddie, we're kind of not quite on the same page. She brought a dog out and everything, trying to intimidate me. It was awesome. And we just found out that we both wanted the same thing, to grow this sport for women, period. And in fact, for all. Now, with that said, she passed the torch to Sheila, who's not with us today, but now played for South Jersey, and I believe is married to Mike Hood, right? So we know that, right? She's part of our family. And that passed on to Hannah G, formerly Hannah Dentino, right? Which also tells us about our family, right? She straightened her fam from being a part of our club, meeting Timothy Granick on the men's side. And now Hannah Sadler owns that. And now Hannah, you've been holding this on your own for quite some time, let me tell you, but you and I, we made a pact. We made a pact a long time ago, not that long ago, actually, the end of the 7th season. We sat in the car on the ride back home and said, are we doing this? Are we really gonna do this? This meant I had to give up TCNJ, which I love to coach. These ladies are beyond what you can imagine, awesome people. But you know what? You need an opportunity for them too. And we said, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna spend that time. What we did was we found a bunch of other people who were into it as well, and said, we're gonna go do this with you. Thank goodness for you all. Okay? And Steph, I know you're the only one of the OGs left over here, but you know, if it wasn't for you, we would not be where we are right now. It all is each stepping stone. She instills what we are as PAC members. Hugh, you said it before, we are a culture. We are a set of people who know what family means to be, what culture should be. When you have each other's back. Max, You ruck over people. Why? Because that's how you show that you've got their back, and they show it back to you. Right, Max? You said it the other day. Boy, did it leave an impression on me. So with that, the best support staff we've had, ladies, all of you were there for Hannah. I expect you all to grow what you support on this club. Be an extra part of that EC. Go collect those dues. Let's go get it done. I'm making sure I went through all my notes here because I want to make sure I'm super, more than anything else, grateful. So let's take a moment to be grateful. Why are we all here? We're here because we... Number one. Number two, because we remember. Because we remember. Because there are memories. And even if you just started this season, you remember. It's why you're here. You remember what it took to put in work, have others do the same. Come out on the other side, all right, and go have a drink, not with your own teammates, but with the other side. There's something about that. You guys hang out, ladies, when I know that you guys hang out outside of stuff when we're practicing, melts my heart. Gentlemen, I know you do the same, melts my heart. We're creating tentacles that go beyond our founders. Thank you for setting us up. Thank you for setting us up. Without that beginning, my memories do not exist, and neither do the rest of this entire room. Know that. Own that. So with that, I want to once again acknowledge the work that it takes to play the logistics behind the scenes for EC members and what have you, even though we've already had it, but more than anything else, raise your glasses for a moment, folks, to gratitude for having the ability, almost thank goodnessness, if you will, to have run into this club in one way or another, where with a sign on Witherspoon or somebody telling you, gosh, you got to go check this out. But we're here. We're here together. Look at this room, how full it is, and the energy that's in it. Raise that glass, toast to gratitude, and be thankful. Guys, your hand. Round the head. Who said hey? I'll take some of that Chevy goddamn topic and roti and any version you brought from whatever team you came from. Love you all very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. Again, Eddie Torres, thank you. He's done so much for this club, you guys have no idea. Okay, so now we're getting into our Hall of Fame presentation portion of the evening. And also just a heads up, food will be served shortly. Now I would like to play a video message from one of our founders, Tom Pirelli. Tom is a 2013 PAC Hall of Fame inductee, a 2024 USA Rugby Hall of Fame inductee, and the biggest contributor to the PAC Foundation. Tom has the pleasure of introducing one of our first members of the Princeton Athletic Club, class of 2024, Mr. Don Clark.
I want to go where he's.
Everybody looks nice.
Unfortunately, Tom's in Florida. Medical issues prevented him from traveling, so it's one of the reasons he's unable to be here. He was here for the 40th, so if you guys are here for the 40th, you might recognize him. He was a recipient. He's wearing his orange blazer, which is awesome. Let's see if I get this right. Not getting it right.
Okay.
Close.
Let's just try computers or something.
Hola, bienvenidos a Florida. Te quiero decir que hoy en Florida hace mucho sol, pero te quiero también decir que
It's so much better. Oh shit, there's a lizard.
para todos los hispanos le voy a traducir. Gracias por venir. Mira, todas las flores de Florida.
Who's the sign language person?
He said. Hey, Rob, this is all for Rob. You see that? Yeah, right here. Everybody.
don't want to get kicked out. He did. He was yeah, right? Fuck! Can't do it. I can't sign it. It's American sign
Got all the AV guys from your high school.
Somebody take a picture of that.
How many PAC guys does it take to figure out a laptop? We're up to 6.
That's like that one. What's that? No, I just talked about the wrong thing. You know, he's over there.
All right. I think we jiggy rigged this. Hold on a second. I think we jiggy rigged. Everybody's gotta be quiet. Quiet.
Don't lie. I need a laser pointer. Let me throw the more hot line.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tom Borelli, co-founder of the Princeton Athletic Club, along with Hayden Harris. I was also the first captain. I'm sorry I cannot be there with you tonight, but as my teammates from that early period will tell you, getting old sucks. I suspect most of you were not even born in December 1974, when we first started the Princeton Athletic Club. Pete and I recruited friends, relatives, and even my dentist to be on the team. Our first ever match on March 8th, 1975, we had a total of 14 players. 7 of us had played before, 7 were total newbies, and we played man short. Coming to you live on tape, we introduce Don Clark to the Princeton Athletic Club Hall of Fame. Well-deserved honor. What can I say about Don? More than you want me to, I'm sure. But Don did such a wonderful job introducing me at our 40th anniversary 10 years ago that I needed to return the favor. We averaged only 12 people at our first practices, and we're in desperate need of recruits. One day, this really tall guy came pedaling down Washington Road and was curious as to what we were doing. He came up to West Windsor Field, and I interrupted practice to go talk with him because we were in desperate need of a jumper for our lineouts. Since Don had played rugby at Drew University and then later served as a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, he had experience. And he was obviously a pretty tough guy. Don had one problem. He was wearing sandals while riding his bike. He needed cleats to join him in practice. He was too far away to pedal his bike home and come back in time. So I said, throw your bike in my trunk, here's my car keys, drive home, get your cleats and come back. At which point Hayden said to me as he drove off, you realize you just gave your car to a total stranger. No idea if he's coming back. Well, Don did return and became our best player in that first year team, winning virtually every lineup for us and becoming the only player to score a hat trick that first year. He was also an outstanding field goal kicker, but the best thing he did for us was to recruit his old Drew teammate, Hunt Jones. He became the notorious leader of our outstanding beef trust, our front row, that also consisted of Chuck the Terrible and Richie Bello, Hayden's brother-in-law. I will conclude with my favorite story about Don Clark. As great a rugby player as he was, for our slow pitch softball team, not so much. Because we all got along so well, we needed an excuse to keep drinking together during the summer. So we had an unremarkable beach volleyball team, mostly due to Dave and myself being on it, and a very good slow pitch softball team, thanks to our baseball experts, Bill Allen. During our 12-game summer season, Don Clark was the only person on either team to ever strike out. For those of you not familiar, slow pitch softball, the pitcher deliberately throws the ball so it's easy to hit. I hope all of you are having a wonderful evening and are sharing the same old lies and exaggerations about how great we were in our playing games. I thank PAC for honoring my great friend, my teammate, and our best player, our inaugural PAC team, Don Clark.
Thank you for those words, Tom. PAC family, please congratulate and welcome Mr. Don Clark.
Look snazzy.
Thank you all. And thank you, Tom. I was kind of hoping the audio wouldn't come back. So I could have told you what Tom meant to say. I was the best looking guy on the team
Still are.
50 years ago. And for all of you who brought your wives and your daughters, I haven't hit on them yet. If I did hit on your wife and your daughter, I apologize for that. It's a little taller than little grunts that have been up here. Because back in the days before you could lift in lineouts, somebody tall was important. And the guys that played with me know I'm a man of few words, so I think I could.
Jesus. What size font?
First of all, I had the privilege of putting Tom Pirelli's jacket on 10 years ago, so you might remember that. Tom Pirelli not only has done so much for this club, But as mentioned, he was just inducted to the USA Rugby Hall of Fame as a Lifetime Achievement Award. Is Rich back here? Good. I believe you were there.
Yes.
I would have tried to make it, and I'm really sorry Tom can't be here. But when I met Tom on my bicycle, you know, I was kind of the same way as Huey. I played for Drew University in the 60s, and there weren't a lot of teams back then. And Drew University is a little pissant college in Madison, New Jersey. And just to give you an idea of how young rugby was at that time, there were only 2 rugby unions in the United States, the Eastern Rugby Union and the Western Rugby Union. So as Drew University, we didn't have a football team, which meant all the athletes played rugby. So we played Princeton, and we played Columbia, and we played the military academies, and we played really well. And I just was at the 60th anniversary of Junior University Rugby. We're inducted one of our Princeton Athletic Club players into the Junior University Hall of Fame. So, back to Tom. You have to understand that in the beginning, when I was riding my little bicycle, I was like Hugh. I had just come back from Vietnam. I was kind of lost. Rugby was my anchor in college until they asked me to leave. And we had just beaten the West Point A's at West Point. And 60 days later, I was in the Army. And strange experience, 1968, the war's going and all this stuff. And when I came back to Drew in 1971, it was a different world. And the rugby team there, being a helicopter gunship pilot in Vietnam was not a popular thing to be when you came back in 1971. It was a rugby team. Whoa! Suck it up, Don. Rugby team. So I came back, I graduated from Drew. And, married my college sweetheart, who ripped me in Vietnam, and of course that was a lot. Because I was pretty screwed up when I came back. So I moved down to Plainsboro, and I was living in the Fox Run Apartments in Plainsboro. And rode my bike into Princeton, and there were some guys kicking the oblong ball. And that's when I met Tom Perilli, who's still a very close friend 50 years later. And everything you've heard tonight, that's what it's about. It's about relationships. Lifetime relationships. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but Tom was the captain of the Princeton team. And I played against him in 1966, 1967, 1968. They didn't really party with Drew University because we were kind of and it kind of breaks my heart, but in 1969, Princeton was the Ivy League champions. And the only game they lost that year was Drew University. So Drew University is now 60 years into rugby, and I encourage you all to recruit their guys to play for you, because they understand the legacy. All right, I need to thank some folks. I'm going to try and make this quick. My Teammates, if you played with me, would you please stand up? And if you can't stand up, we appreciate that. So I know this is hard to believe, but I turned 77 years old last month. When you look at this, I want you to look at the teams that we started playing as a new team with 8 guys who've never played before. So, you know, Tom was a great player, played for not just the university as a captain, but went on to play for Sierra Valley in Chicago and the Chicago Lions, and has been involved in USA Rugby for 50 years. And you may not know this, but USA Rugby went bankrupt a couple of times. And the guy who pulled them out of bankruptcy was Tom. Okay, pull together, Ryan. Pull it together. So I want you to know that Tom was just not a giant for Princeton Athletic Club, but he's a giant in USA Rugby, right, Rich? So anyway, Tom's a great friend. To be honest with you, I played against him at Drew. By the way, in 1969, when Drew beat Rutgers and Princeton, we won the Schaefer Rugby, Schaefer beer. We won the Schaefer Rugby Cup because we were the New Jersey champions, and Princeton couldn't remember where the trophy was. So anyway, so Tom recruited me. He said, "Okay, you're the scrum captain, and it's fine." I played wing forward, second row, number 8. I said, "Tom, I don't know anything about the front row, but I know Hunt Jones. We grew up together. He was my tight head prop at Drew, and he kept me alive as a line-out jumper in the pre-lifting days. If you didn't have your props on either side, you're going to get killed." Hunt was my protector and childhood friend. Called him up, said, "Hunt, we got an opportunity here. Come play for us." Hunt bought Rich Bello, Hayden's brother-in-law, and Chuck Treeblay. Terrible Chuck. Both these guys had never played before, and he taught them how to play front row. And the reason we could play these teams and hang with them is because those guys were solid. And in those days, possession was a big part of it. Loose rucks, there were way more set scrums, way more lineouts. My job was doing the lineouts. Hunt's job as tight head prop to make sure we never lost a set scrum. So even though we were young and inexperienced, we could control the ball for as long as we could. Are you? But anyway. Yep. A lot of these guys in the memoriam column I played with, some of the greatest people I ever knew. In addition to Richie Bello and Tom, Chuck Treeblay, who were they were called the Beef Trust in the front line. Bill McGill was one of my best friends in life. He was the dentist and team doctor. Tom Pirelli recruited Bill McGill while he was rebuilding his front teeth from a rugby injury. Now, if you're a dentist and you're putting somebody's teeth back in his head, and he talks you into playing rugby, There's something wrong. First of all, I want to shake somebody's hand.
The guy dancing in front of the screen, that was me.
Okay. In addition to being the number 8, I was the goofball on the team. Wonderful people, lifetime friendships. Dylan's Bond, Hunt Jones, I saw him yesterday. Best tight head prop I ever played with. Probably, I think Tom Pirelli, who played at high level. I went to Washington DC and played for an embassy team for several years. Best tight head prop I ever played with. And if you've got a good tight head prop, who's a tight head prop here? Who plays tight head? Anybody?
Used to play tight head.
Yeah, they're all.
Forced to play tight head. You were forced to play tight head if you get up to who's that?
Come on, stand up. We all played and, had fun and stuff like that. I love playing number 8 because I never got stuck in the scrum, get out and all that stuff. But the tight head prop, you understand he's being double teamed on every play of every set scrum. And if you can hold that scrum at tight head, everything else is going to be okay. So, girls team, who's your tight head prop? Yeah! The only time I played prop was in the sevens tournament. So anyway, I love props. It all starts right there. They call themselves the engine room, and they were the engine room of that early team. Okay. Bill Lewis, Tony Bird, and all of you guys from the Hall of Fame, current coaches, thank you. It blows me away to think that what we started 50 years ago is still going on. So as Tom said, I couldn't hit. So I was, I was the slug on the softball team. I could play volleyball. That worked. We did everything together, and that's why in the beginning it was called the Princeton Athletic Club. Because we played any sport there was. If we weren't playing rugby, we'd find something else to play. The other thing I should say about Tom Pirelli is that while he couldn't sing, he did know all the words. And of course, if you have a new team with players who've never played before, well, they don't know the song. So Tom would meticulously write the lyrics to the song and bring them in after every practice. We'd go to Andy's Tavern in Princeton until they decided that we were not good guests and we weren't invited to come back, and we would go through the songs. And so that was, as you know, a very important part of the game. Look, I'm really humbled to be here, particularly in a room full of people. And I'm so thrilled with what you're doing. I live in Sedona, Arizona, so I'm sorry you don't see me much. But I can guarantee you I'll be the only guy in Sedona with an orange jacket. I've already talked too long, but remember this, and it's been mentioned 2 or 3 times. It's all about relationships. It's all about going to war with your fellow men or your fellow women. That's a bond that that never gets broken. I told you it was kind of what kept me in college as long as I was there until I flunked out. And but it also got me back into college because my rugby coach at Drew, his father was the chairman of the board of trustees. And he came up to me at the last game of my junior year, right after we beat Army at West Point. And he said to me, he had a very deep voice. He was a very powerful attorney in New York. He said, "Don, if you ever need any help, just let me know." And the great understatement of my life was, I'm gonna need a little help getting back into school. And he somehow went to the registrar at Drew University and did some sort of magic that erased some of my better achievements academically, so that when I got out of the Army, I was actually able to get back into Drew. 3 semesters finished and out into the world. So rugby's very important. I went to Washington, played for an embassy team with a bunch of crazy Australians and New Zealanders. For about 6 years, I played 5 years at Drew. But Princeton Athletic Club that's the year I remember.
Yeah.
Johnny Burke said, "Be brief," and of course I have been, haven't I? Yeah, so I've been brief, but thank you all for being here. It's a thrill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don Clark, everybody. Don Clark. First inductee of the class of 2024. Awesome. Again, thank you, Tom Morelli, for that induction, and congratulations. I don't know how you held in those tears. If anyone knows me here, I'm a big crybaby. At Spalding's wedding, I earned the nickname Johnny Tears. I would have never been able to make it through anything else. So, awesome.
Get out of here.
All right. Moving on. Next, I would like to call Mr. Rafi Botello. Rafi is a 2011 PAC Hall of Fame inductee, which was the first class of the PAC Hall of Famers. And if you didn't know, Rafi's a legend on the pitch. Legend. I was lucky enough to have played with Rafi for about a year or two. And it was coming off his career. I just started playing with PAC. One of my earliest memories of playing with Rafi, my first game ever was playing against Morris. So Rafi's playing fullback, and in case you don't know, Rafi is the fullback. He has the 15 tattooed on his back. He will always be fullback. And I was playing off on the wing. So the ball came out to me, and Rafi did a simple loop around me. I did a pin and pass, got on the ball, he raced down the sideline and scored. That's just an early memory, and it was just awesome being able to play with you. I can't even imagine how much fun it would have been playing with you, in the early years before I joined PAC. But tonight, Rafi has the pleasure of introducing our second member of the Princeton Athletic Club Rugby Hall of Fame, class of 2024, Mr. Jimmy Toole.
Like my brain, man. There's no place to sit. No.
Oh, for all the young kids, this is rated NC-17. Sorry. So I'm probably gonna say stuff that will teach your children stuff that they don't want to know. I've already taught those three at that table a whole bunch. You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's a great start.
How do you tell if you're a genius? Right? Yeah? You're not a genius. I can't, that's awful. So I already talked to Lauren. You can leave if you want, and you hold your dad in very high regard. This might ruin that. But so I started Princeton in 1994, right before I graduated in 95, and they asked me to come play on Saturdays. And then Rutgers, by the way, Rutgers won the first ever football game. They beat everybody. Princeton, Drew, everybody. Just saying. And then it's the 125th anniversary, we beat them again. So anyway, oh wait, I got some time. All right. So when I came to Princeton as a senior year, I didn't know what to expect. And as a college kid, you come and you see these guys playing rugby, and they know a whole bunch of different things. You thought you were supposed to be kind of sort of nice, and then these guys are raking each other and punching each other in the scrum, and one guy got staples, and yeah. So you realize you're in the big leagues, and like some of these guys were, super big, and some of them were super scary, and some of them were super hairy. Love you, coach. And his sweater. But they all have one thing in common. When you get there, like they're all men. And we're coming from college where you think you're a man. And then I met Devin. So if the young kids are like, who? You're welcome. You didn't meet him. He showed me how to put. Never mind.
Yeah, don't do it.
No. It's a trick. It's the thumb. Never mind. So,
far enough.
Yeah, that's what she said. So anyway, so I mean, little by little, you get to play more games and you get to meet more of the guys. And Devin told me the first time I met him, he's like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Ralph." He goes, "Okay, Ralph, I'm gonna forget your name by the next time I meet you." And he forgot it by the end of the game. So then I met this one guy with a mustache, and it wasn't Coach, and it wasn't Les, and it wasn't Dowgan, and it wasn't. There, a lot of people had mustaches back then. So I met this guy with a mustache. And I don't even know how to put it. Some rugby players are blessed with brawn, and others are gifted with speed or quickness. Some with brains or finesse or even patience. And then you got Jimmy Fool, aka Jimmy Fool, which is a great nickname. Because it hits it right on the nose. Like, what's your name, Jimmy Fool? What's your nickname? Jimmy Fool. So he has a presence on the field, which is it's like the word field general comes to mind. It really is. Like, he knows. He has a way of replaying. He had a way of replaying every single play. He's like, "Rabbit, he'd take you under a wing and he'd tell you on this play." And this is before camcorders or like electricity. It was way back. You couldn't record this stuff. And he recorded it, and it was unbelievable. And he's just, if you've met him, then you know he's an exemplary man in every facet of his life, with his family, with his job, with the people that he takes on under his wing at rugby. Like, he's just, they don't make guys like that anymore. So I'm very privileged to have been part of it. Let's take you back to 1975 when he graduated Cornell to football, and they went to Gainesville. I pictured it. Do you remember your first date?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he's got shaggy hair and beard, and the girls can't tell whether he's smiling when he cracks a joke, so he shaves his beard, and then he where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Then he meets his, a week after he shaves, he meets his wife, well, and they take, where do you go on your first date? To catch alligators. That's where everybody goes, to catch alligators. And she said yes.
Oh.
You know, like that tells you a little bit about who he is. Like, hey, let's go catch alligators. And she said, okay, let's go. And now they have a daughter. And that's not it. But if you know him as a family man too, like you know rugby, everybody's got, you bring your family, even though you probably shouldn't. My mom saw a man run around naked the first time she came to a game. But it's okay, it was no big thing. I only have a certain amount of time, so I'm going to 4 minutes and 3 minutes. But if you've ever spoken to Jimmy, everything he says is important. Like he doesn't waste any words like I do. He's like a rugby Buddha. He really is. He knows all about it. Look, he gave me this way back. For those of you who need glasses like I do, it says, play the game USA Rugby, a manual for teachers and coaches. And it's like, I'm all older than most of the people in here.
The trapper keeper.
But here's the awesome part, is that Jimmy is so renowned over the world. Look at, there's a picture of him, like, that's him with his mustache. This is from like 1900. So, yeah, I got a whole bunch. It's just like, it's everywhere. I apologize. And now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. So, he's got a full beard, then he shaves it, he meets his wife, and now he's got, this is the kind of guy he goes back, or went back multiple years in a row. For 30 years your team played together in Aspen, right?
30 years.
In Florida, the Florida team got together and they played in Aspen. Like, that's a rugby lifer. That's somebody that changes the course of so many different guys. It's unbelievable. Nobody, it just doesn't happen. He teaches everybody something. He's been to Australia and New Zealand, and some weird guy's wedding that you met over there, Ian. And you're the only Americans there, right? I talked to him the other night for 40 minutes. It felt like 4. You know, and Don, as you said, it's all about relationships. Rugby builds a family. If you meet somebody in Las Vegas on a trip and they've got a rugby shirt on, and you say, I played rugby, you're doing shots. Right? You might not remember it in the morning, but somebody's got a picture of it. Or somebody has something drawn on their head, which I'm not allowed to discuss because the children are here. But it's all about camaraderie and sharing stories and one-liners and nicknames like Jimmy. But he's devoted to everything he does. And look at me, he's got right next, well I was going to say next to him, but that's his daughter. That's his lifetime hooker, and I mean that as a rugby player. Right? A hooker is a very important part of rugby. I know, well, not your,
Hook a little.
doesn't everybody. But he is a teammate, he's a mentor, he's a coach, he's a friend, he's a father figure. Oh, fun fact, Jimmy Thule was born June 22nd, and I was born June 22nd. I know, right? That means that we are both what sign? What is it? Cancer. Yes, we are both a deadly disease and pubic lice. It also means that our parents were having the in September. Right? So, I don't know how many different people Jimmy Lewis changed. He changed my life, I know that. He took me under his wing. He tried to teach me everything he could. Sometimes I didn't listen. Sorry, Jim. But the amount of people that he's educated and just made better is unreal. So, Jimmy, come on up.
Yeah.
Jack it off. Jack it off.
Man, you look good in orange.
Everyone, if you could please, side conversations, they get a little bit loud. Plenty of time to mingle afterwards, even drink up, we go to the bar afterwards, everything. Please give these gentlemen up here your full attention. I know food's being passed around, so you want to eat, talk a little bit, but please give your undivided attention here to these gentlemen up here.
We're out here, I'm not sure how to follow this up. Thanks for the
Everybody will listen, trust me.
I love you, buddy, and I sure hope that you think of me as a player and not a father figure.
I know, I've been talking to your daughters, just keep her mind.
But the fact that, we were both born on June 22nd, but we were line mates for a good many years, but he was born 20 years after me. I'm gonna smack you in the face right now that in the mirror, I don't have a mustache anymore. What's left on my head is a crown, it's gray. I got hearing aids in, I'm wearing glasses. And memory isn't great, so I hope you'll bear with me because I'm gonna read most of this thing. And to be honest with you, it really hits me tonight as I where the time goes. And this aging process is not easy, and I certainly relate to a lot of the things that Don had to say. But almost 3.5 decades ago, broken down rugby guy loaded up his little girl and his toddler son into your car, strapped him in the car seats, and took him for a ride to give his wife a break. Done it many times. This one was different. He was in search of a rugby club. Years before, he had moved back to New Jersey to join the family business, work with his dad, and he had his blown out knee reconstructed. Went through a couple of years of lengthy rehab. Mentioned my eyesight isn't very good. I'm moving along. I'll just read it. I hope you'll bear with me. I'm pulling the senior card. I know you did it, Abby. That was awesome. But
Jimmy.
my annual alumni football game at Cornell, and he felt so good after that figured, you know what, I can trash this John English style knee brace. That was a light bulb moment for me. It was like, wait a minute, I don't need a knee brace. I can take
rugby again. So he had heard from some old teammates that there were tournaments that had over 35s brackets in their rugby play, and I was dying to get back on the rugby pitch. Old teammate provided me with some contacts, and I was in search of Woodloch Park. I was looking for a bunch of guys that made up something called Princeton Athletic Club. Of course, that guy was me. Indeed, I did find a bunch of guys running around in the spillover light in the outfield between two softball fields. And I didn't realize that guys were great, I met them, and they seemed receptive, and I didn't know at the time, but my life changed for the better in that moment. I had no delusions. I was in my late 30s at that point. I figured, I'll go out and handle the ball a little bit, get some running in, improve my fitness, maybe playing a B game, help some rookies break in, like guys did when I first started playing. That's pretty much the way that it went, and of course, paramount to that was also meeting a bunch of guys that loved the game as much as I did. That's pretty much the way things went for a good stretch, and that was fine. But one spring at a Jersey Cup, and as I recall, it was at some polo fields up in Sussex County somewhere. And I got a kitchen pass for the day, and I figured I'd go support the boys. Of course, I wasn't my first rodeo, so I had my kit with me, even though I wasn't expecting to play. As it turns out, the boys were short of back, and they needed a call on me, and so I'm ready to go. So this was my first run with the big dogs. The vibe I got was that expectations weren't too high. I heard murmurs of who's to and barbecue. And who could blame them? They got this unknown quantity they're just throwing in there. But quite frankly, I knew that we had a great forward pack, and some of the other guys I thought were terrific. So I said, well, I was ready to go and do my best. And I prayed that I wouldn't let the guys down. And we won our first game. Woo. And then we won our second game. And things are going along pretty awesome, And to be honest with you, when I play, I don't form memories. So maybe there's a snapshot here and there. I don't know whether it's because I try to play in the moment or in the zone or whatever. So I can't honestly say whether I had anything to do with those victories or not. But I do recall having the feeling that we were playing 15-man rugby. As y'all can appreciate, 15-man rugby is the key to playing best of ball. And so anyway, by the time the third game rolled around, this old man was pretty knackered. And thankfully, we had some substitutes that where I was able to retire somewhat into that third game. And anyway, as I recall, I think Princeton Athletic Club came home with some hardware that day.
Yeah.
And that light bulb in my head flickered a little bit. And I was thinking, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, there's enough gas left in this tank that maybe I can contribute to this club. Unfortunately, some of my teammates thought so as well. And this is the first lifeline that Princeton Athletic Club extended to me. It gave me the opportunity to play a bonus 10 plus years of quality, competitive rugby. Fast forward to May of 2001, we played a game in a hot, muggy day, and I was sweating my ass off, and I was just saturated. I came home, I was totally wasted at the end, and it was soaked right down to my boots, and I remember flopping down in the grass afterwards and looking up at the sky, and just, anyway, I finally recovered enough to change clothes and go to the drink up. And I no sooner walked through the doors, into the pub, and a couple of the young guys foisted some shots of tequila on me.
Yes.
Now, tequila and I don't see eye to eye. This goes back a long way. I've always avoided it. But I figured, you know what, it was easier just to take these things and put them down and get my balls busted. So anyway, I hung out at the party for a while, but I was tired, so I decided that I would hop in the car, and I took that windy hour-long drive back to Flemington, and I got home in time to watch a movie with my wife, Lorna, and I went to bed. And sometime in the course of that night, my life changed again. This time, not for the better. Aaron had a youth lacrosse game that morning, and Lorna had a hard time waking me up. And I swung my legs over to the floor and got out of bed and opened my eyes, and my head went for a spin, and I couldn't focus my eyes. And I immediately was hit with a bout of nausea that was ungodly, and I remember I had to crawl to the bathroom on my hands and knees. And when I got to the toilet, I couldn't figure out whether to sit on it or stick my head in it. I knew I couldn't stand. So I ended up in the hospital for a week. Initially, the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I found out later that at the same time, Lorna was out in the hall discussing with my doctor whether I was going to make it or not. I was laying in bed formulating plans to play old boys rugby. I had no doubt that I was going to recover. Meanwhile, they pumped me with expensive immunoglobulins, thinking I might have some immune disorder like Guillain-Barré syndrome, which potentially could lead to total paralysis. Eventually, they discovered a lesion in my brain, my midbrain, so technically I had a stroke, even though there wasn't any blood clot involved. They said it was sluggish blood flow, an area in my brain of oxygen causing the lesion. They had a bunch of theories as how this happened. I didn't buy into any of them. I blamed the fucking tequila.
Bad idea, sorry, Jimmy.
Then I was eventually diagnosed with sleep apnea, which no doubt was exacerbated by all my broken noses over the years. And I think that was the actual smoking gun. The afflicted area of my brain controlled the muscles that move my eyeballs. And so my eyes were paralyzed and they didn't track together. My doc told me that if the lesion had been only a couple millimeters in another direction, it would have been my breathing reflex, in which case Lorna wouldn't even awaken me that morning. Fortunately, with time, I improved, got better. Eventually, I returned to rugby practice. I no longer really trained hard enough to keep up with the 20-somethings, the Rafts of the world.
Keep them down.
But, well, not kidding. At that point, my A-side days were pretty well numbered anyway. But
Still made it.
you guys remember, I had a tough time. It was challenging enough to catch the damn ball. Now I look at it, there's two of them coming at me. But rugby practice was just awesome therapy for me. I did my best to help out Joe when guys would break up into backs and forwards and try to knock my head into big kids like Raffy there. Thursday nights were a cherished time for me too, just hanging with the guys at the pub. That was the second lifeline that Princeton Athletic Club extended to me. You granted me a sense of normalcy and gave me the opportunity to, again, just feel normal again in a place that I feel comfortable, which is on the rugby pitch. A few years after my stroke, believe it or not, was probably an even worse time than what I just described. Two of my brothers making business decisions that were detrimental to my interests, my younger brother and my mom and dad. Quote our attorney, nobody fights like family. It started almost a decade of litigation. At risk was, there was the possibility that I could lose everything that I had worked for. But at rugby practice, I was in the moment. I could blow off some steam, escape those unpleasant realities to a place, like I said earlier, that I was comfortable on the rugby pitch with guys that I loved. And, that was a big difference. This was incredible when the Princeton Athletic Club extended to me, and I owe a debt to y'all that, quite frankly, I'll never be able to repay. Princeton Athletic Club. Yeah, it's a name, but it's you guys. It's the guys that I played with. It's the guys who came before, founded the club, and the guys who came after, and all the coaches and everybody that's been affiliated with it, and having the gals, join that cohort, I think is just spectacular.
Starts with you, Jimmy.
Woo! Woo! I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that have never crossed paths with me, and maybe wondering if the club's so important, how have you been? Fair enough, that's right. I've stayed involved in rugby, coaching with Rags at Rutgers for a spell, and Richie at Bridgewater High School, and priorities change over time. And you remember that little girl and that toddler son that I referred to earlier? They had the audacity to grow up on it. Both Warren and Garrett developed into outstanding athletes in their own right. In fact, both of them have told me that going to my games and watching me train, compete, and interact with my teammates were formative for them and contributed to their success. And both kids went to Huntington Central High School, like and Davey. Woo! All right. Yeah! Woo! So you know that the sports teams are competitive.
I just did my swing.
Lauren played volleyball and basketball, making varsity in both sports as a freshman. Went on to be all-state in both sports, was a Central Jersey Player of the Year 1 year and won a state championship. She went on to play volleyball at Petersburg College, where the team won a couple of conference championships, and she was a unanimous all-league selection. She was a tough competitor.
Hold on a second, hold on.
What's up, Dad?
I love watching him compete, but I don't love watching Raffy with his arm around.
Makes sense.
One arm Raffy.
You'll have to bear with me. I can't pass up an opportunity to brag on my kids. And incidentally, for any of you ladies that were around back then, thank you for looking after my kids when I was out on the pitch. I appreciate it. Well, that little boy did grow up. Essentially, he was all-state in both football and lacrosse, and his teams won 5 state championships.
Oh, yeah.
2 in football and 3 in lacrosse. but he didn't earn as many letters as his sister. He was recruited to play at the next level in both sports at 6'4", 250 pounds, and a 4'6" 40, and 112-mile-an-hour shot. He was a matchup nightmare on the crossfield. Could have been an outstanding tight end. But lacrosse was his first love, and he wanted to play for his dream school, West Point. He went on to an outstanding career at Army. He was Inside Lacrosse Magazine's National Freshman of the Year, a 3-time All-American, and smashed the career goal-scoring record at Army, which he still holds. After graduation, he managed to play 6 seasons of pro ball and medaled in 2 world championships playing for Team USA between his military commitments. Speaking of military, I'd like to remind you that Monday is Veterans Day.
Yeah.
You guys, veterans out there, back to my favorite vet, Derek. I was disappointed that we never got to play in a rugby match together. When I told him that I thought he would make a great number 8, he said, "No way, Dad, I'm a PAC."
That's not a bad thing.
I learned, to stop doubting my kid some years back. All I can say is I'm glad I just didn't have to play against him. I hope you all can appreciate that my priority was to get to as many of my kids' games as I possibly could. Rugby did take a backseat for a while. I continue to play in the occasional old boys games. In fact, among my most cherished memories is inviting some of my PAC teammates to join with some of my old mates from Florida and play in the Aspen Rugby Fest in Colorado together. It's hard to describe the feeling, standing in the back line, watching your Princeton buddies packed down next to your old mates from Florida. It was almost a surreal feeling, and those guys fit in seamlessly, on the field and off. It's one of the most gratifying moments in my rugby life. So I thank you guys that joined me out there. You know who you are. But I'd also like to say that sadly 2 of those guys that were prominent amongst them are no longer with us. Pete and Joe, I hope your spirits are here tonight. This is an awesome night. You're still right here, and I'm sure that you guys feel that way as well. And I would be remiss if I failed to mention my patient and tolerant wife, Lorna. She stood by me all these years, the late nights, the weekends, coming home reeking of Guinness, training on the off days. She knew she was marrying a rugby player, but I doubt that she could foresee that my love affair with rugby would also last a lifetime. Thanks, Gil. And finally, in closing, I would like to address the current players and coaches out there. Thank you so much for continuing the legacy of Princeton Athletic Club Rugby. Sure, it makes me feel good that the club's in good hands, but perhaps more importantly, you may be providing a lifeline to one of your guys, and in fact, it could be you. You just don't realize it yet. So, looking around the room, I look at the other guys in these orange jackets, and I'm truly humbled. I wear this with tremendous pride and humility. And congratulations to Richie and Don and Princeton Athletic Club Rugby. Thank you.
Came from Jimmy. The reason we had a 7th team that was so productive, besides Rags and Davey and some of the other guys, Jimmy, we used to bring home hardware every week.
Thank you again, Rafi, for the introduction, and again, congratulations, Jimmy, too. As Jimmy mentioned, thank you to our vets. Don mentioned what his wife. A gentleman I played with, Carlos, Marine, West Marine. All the other guys, thank you again for your service. And Garrett, please, Jimmy, thank Garrett for his service as well. Thank you.
Jimmy, look in the lunch.
Okay, we got one more. All right, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more. So just bear with it, the last one, and everyone continue on, having your conversations, having a good time, catching up, I get it. But let's just keep the conversation down to a little bit, please.
It's only gonna be 40 minutes.
Yeah, only 40. I got it. No more, no less.
Okay, lastly, I would like to call up Andrew Beck and Chris Sedlak. Andy, as we all know, as we know him, Wilson, is Rich's older brother, and Chris, as we know him as Sedlak, is one of Richie's longtime teammates, probably over 20 years or so, and the other half of the creators of the Spald Plaques, the most coveted PAC Superlative Awards.
It sounds like a dirty movie. It sounds like a dirty movie. Just saying.
Tonight, Wilson and Sedlak have the pleasure of introducing our third member of the Princeton Athletic Club Rugby Hall of Fame, class of 2024, Rich Spalding Beck.
Hello, PNC! Just as a quick side note, Jimmy was my inside center when I was blossoming fly half. Best on-field education I ever got. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Well deserved. Rich's rugby journey began fall of '95, Rutgers Rugby.
Good time.
He was a sophomore. I had joined the semester before, and I was very excited when Rich joined the team. So I knew what kind of athleticism and enthusiasm he brought to the team. And the team quickly recognized that same ability. And he was quickly given a nickname that he would have struggled to live up with, I would say. Wilson 2. Eventually, more creative minds got involved, and Spalding was born.
W2 for a while.
When I left Rutgers, I followed, my path was easy. I went to Princeton Athletic Club. The late great Joe Delger was my coach. He was going to coach Princeton. Many of my teammates were already at Princeton, Rafi, Billy Lewis, Matt Coyle. So it was easy for me. Rich played 3 more semesters at Rutgers under a coach from Union Rugby Club. Many of his Rutgers teammates would go on to become mud turtles. There's an alternate universe where Rich has a red jumpsuit in his closet.
Are you getting a red jacket?
He chose to don the orange.
Thank God! Thank God!
Rich on the field, Rich was everything you could want in the back. He had the speed and creativity to finish on the wing. He had the size to mix it up in the centers. He had the skill and smarts to play scrum half, fly half, fullback. On the field, he had a great sidestep, a devastating spin move.
Yes.
And he also embraced the grimier aspects of the game. He would put his body on the line to win a ruck, coach a ball. Anything that it took to help the team get a win. And as much as they brought on the field, he was equally adept off the field. He was involved in all the social aspects, whether it was the drink-ups, the tours, the off-the-field bonding experiences. And he was especially adept in those moments, those down moments in rugby, whether it's a long van trip to an away game, the time between matches at a tournament. He had a way of engaging and entertaining his teammates that just made it more enjoyable for everybody. And I think everyone knows there's rugby, we have traditions. We were lucky enough when we joined rugby to have a very rugby-rich environment. It was occasionally an angry environment, but it was rugby-rich. They loved their tradition. And when a bunch of veterans started retiring in the early 2000s, some of those rugby traditions became lax. You know, a new player would show up to practice, introduce himself as Dan, and then the team would start calling him Dan, like we're a bowling team. Terrible. Rich would not allow that. Rich knew everybody deserves a rugby nickname. So it was thanks to him that we had a soda, a whiskey, a toga on our rugby roster. And while you might question the originality of those nicknames, given that they were from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Saratoga, what you can't question is his commitment to the game and spirit of rugby, or his commitment to Princeton Athletic Club. And with that, I'm going to pass this on to future Hall of Famer Sedlak.
Surprised nobody's gone down in this microphone tonight.
That you know of.
The night's young.
The night is not young, guys. So, Richie, it's my pleasure to be up here. I think having your boys here is the best part because I'm sure they've heard stories about how great you were at rugby, and they know you're a good dude, good dad, but to hear what we have to say about you, it doesn't get better than your boys being here. So, I mean it though, I'm not gonna roast them. So, as the great William Lewis said, I'm only up here tonight because Montana Mike had other engagements. Something about you can't cross state lines or something.
Is he from Montana?
He's not even from Montana, MT initials. Same garbage nickname. My nickname's Seds, because my last name's Sedlak.
Raffy.
Kaz said that it sounds like a VD, right Kaz? You're right.
I got that in college.
I'm sure you did.
Twice. Thank you.
I do like the interactive format, so keep them coming, guys. Seriously.
That's how I got it.
That was good. So for about 15 years, 17-ish years, I drove over an hour to practice and play for PAC. I passed about 5 closer teams in the process. Why the hell would I do that? I would always tell people that I came for Tommy Crump and I stayed for Spalding. So about maybe 22 years ago, I'm playing at TCNJ. Tommy's my coach. I don't know if we beat Drew or we definitely did beat Rutgers.
In your dream. In your dream.
It's true. So Tommy invited us to come play some B-side for PAC at South Jersey because we had the weekend off at TCNJ. That's where I met Richie. I was probably 20. You were probably, I guess, 26, right? Same haircut? I thought to myself, wow, this guy is so old, 26. We cracked each other up before the game. We had a great time playing together. And we haven't stopped cracking each other up since. So, rugby wins again.
Yay.
It's been great. So, nowadays, we know each other so well, we can finish each other's.
Finish each other. Finish each other, period.
Should have ran that by you before I did this. So I don't have time to get into everything, but I wanted to mention a couple highlights of playing together, right? Such as the special call off of the line out when you were dummy the center, you were playing fly out, dummy the center, skip the outside center, hit me in stride like 25 yards away, and in games you never missed. Another highlight memory was when we were playing North Penn at the North Penn Sevens, and it was the finals, right? They were winning. Do you remember this? They were winning. We had no time left.
They were always winning.
In sevens, we really were. So no time left, but we have possession. We're down, and we just keep chipping. We keep possession, and then you just hit me with like a 40-yard bounce pass, and I just bounced up to me, and I like walked into the try zone and we won.
So I threw a crappy pass.
No, the bounce pass was your move.
Better lucky than good.
The bounce pass was your move. It was almost as nice, no offense, as you were passing the behind. So our sevens team was a dynasty, and Richie, you were the glue. I used to say you were like the John Stockton of our team, but as your students know you as you're the professor, right? The and one professor. Isn't that your alumni game nickname? Sure. The thing about Richie is he was always a gamer. You probably still are a gamer. I don't know. We don't really play much anymore. But
I don't know either.
we don't know. But you were always a gamer. If there was time left on the clock, you were trying to score. That was contagious. That made playing with you so much fun. You lifted everybody up. Richie has done incredible things for our PAC club, for New Jersey rugby, and for the sport of rugby in general. Both for men's league and both for the kids. You can continue to be a real ambassador for the sport, Richie. But that really goes beyond sport and beyond rugby. Richie, you're a devoted family man, you're a great friend, you're not just great at finding rugby talent, but you always bring out the best in people. Take my wife, please. At our wedding, Richie did an a cappella version of Thank You for Being a Friend, Golden Girls. At his wedding, he sang a version of Here I Go Again on my own. While he was practically staring at Christine and her family. So here I go, I'm like, okay, it's an odd choice, but I nailed it.
We remember every rose has its thorn.
Yes, another good one.
Yeah.
Richie, not only did you play with us, bleed with us, and like Jimmy, on the field, you were teaching us. Sometimes you were a little nasty, but we needed that. We needed to hear it that way. You also have the capacity to entertain like no other. Burke, you mentioned the Spaldacks. Well, it started as the Spaldies when you would just do it solo. You started the Drunk Chicks Love Me Hot Body Award, the T-shirt. You gave it out the first year.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure. Then it evolved into the Spaldacks. So a few highlights of the Spaldacks. You guys shout them out if you remember some too, but there was a recording where you did the German accent, and some people actually thought it was like Fabian, right?
That was Zoom before there was Zoom. A fake Zoom.
Yeah, a fake Zoom, and some people actually thought it was him, but it was you with a German accent.
Some people call that.
You channeled your inner Jillian in the video. You did some great voiceover work when you were recognizing Colby's self-branding to get a ton of pics uploaded to the New York Rugby website. So I'm glad Colby's here because I think it was something like, "Hello, this is Colby Claypool. I want to be on the website." Right? Just like that. Thanks. We had years of the P-Whipped Awards. You gave it to me and yourself the same year. Richie, I don't know if people know this, Richie was the original Blackthorn prop on the message board. Got Redman, got Eddie, and others. That was a good one. So here tonight, when we think about the Hall of Fame for the Princeton Athletic Club, we think about some great men, some really amazing, talented individuals. Some of the best people we know. So of course Richie belongs, and Richie, in my opinion, you're on the Mount Rushmore of PAC rugby, for sure. So we had some rocky times 15, 20 years ago, and without you back then, I don't think the club survives. I think you were doing so much financially, executively, on the field, getting people to stay. I don't know if we make it through those 1-9, 2-8 seasons, like for a few seasons in a row, if it wasn't for you, Richie. So I do think a big reason we're all here is because you helped keep us going for about 3, 4, 5 years. And then shortly after that, thanks in large part to your commitment and your connection with Rutgers, we get some Rutgers studs, right? We start padding our lineup. And I know at that point, you had the boys, you were looking to pull back, but we were steamrolling New Jersey and Tri-State Rugby, and you were like, you know what? I'll keep putting these boots on. And you got to like end your competitive career with us being awesome. Like those were golden days, and like to end your career that way, it's a pretty storybook. So that was an awesome way for you to end. So tonight, Richie, we salute you. Well deserved. I love you, buddy.
Yeah. One arm each. One arm each. There you go.
Can I hold the mic? This is how I always do it. I'm sorry. It's a lot different up here than out there. Jeez. All right. First of all, just thank you so much. I'm honored to be up here with Jimmy Thule, Don Clark. I appreciate you guys and the orange jackets out there. Like, I'm just blown away. My heart's beating so fast. Like, this is unreal. And I just want to give a thanks to. People probably don't know the origination of even the PAC Foundation or the Hall of Fame. It started with an idea. Bill, do you remember this? We were living in North Brunswick. A couple knucklehead 20-something-year-olds just probably drinking like, hey, you know what? This team doesn't have any money. It can fold at any point. We should probably have an endowment or something. Maybe we should start something. And Bill's been in the back row of this since that. And then Sandra did a bunch of lawyer stuff. Sandra had a packet of paper like this thick, and we signed it one day and we had a foundation. But it started with an idea. It started with nothing. Kind of like what Don was talking about, like with Tom Pirelli and this club. It starts with an idea. You plant the seed, and then something comes out of it. It's just amazing. So the Hall of Fame was Bill's idea. He started this whole thing. It wouldn't exist without him. And he puts the legwork in every year. Woo! And Johnny Burke is like the man. Just a shout out to those guys, just for some perspective. And then just to talk about Jimmy Thule. Jim, I told you earlier, when I started playing with the club, Jimmy Thule was like the starting fly half or inside center, you know, it would change. But he's in his 40s, Kaz is in his 40s or 50s or something, Dalvin's up there. Like, I wanted to be these guys someday. I wanted to be you. Like, I figured when I'm in my 40s where I am now, I'm just gonna go to practices Tuesday, Thursday, Crossroads, I'm gonna keep playing. It didn't happen because you guys are legends, man. Like, it doesn't happen. You know, playing with Rags and Davey and all you guys, it's amazing. But I wanted to be you, Jim. Like, amazing. Just a little side story, and I've told this so many times. Jim, he's tired of me telling this. Jimmy Thule hit so goddamn hard, and we saw him smashing people every week. And we do some drill. I don't know who was doing the drill. We're doing some drill. We had to go back and forth. So Jim forgot what team he's on. He's like, I don't know. Jim was on my team. He knocked the shit out of me. He hit me so hard. I never knew. Yeah, you remember that, right? I'm like, the man on my team isn't gonna hit me, right? He knocked me. I'm like, this man can hit, especially if you don't see the coming. Jeez. But thank you so much, man. I'm just honored. But I started you know, my brothers talked about it and said I started playing Rutgers fall '95, W2 and Spalding. I'm like, God, I hate this nickname. As soon as I said I hate this nickname, you knew what was gonna happen. Nickname forever, right? Like, I hate this nickname. Oh, you can have that one forever. Okay, good job. We had all these nicknames. Remember Shit Pants? Sorry, kids. We had a guy named Shit Pants. That's how bad. Do you know what? His first practice, he slid in something he thought was mud.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't. That was his nickname. I don't remember him lasting that long either. It was a really bad choice. I'm blaming you on that. Yeah, maybe I did come up with that nickname. It was a bad one. I didn't work. He could have been up here right now. We just gave him a better nickname. Yeah. We just
New nickname.
call him Hulk Hogan or something. He'd be in the Hall of Fame. Who knows? But man, college rugby is a ton of fun. It was so much fun, especially before Facebook, YouTube, anything. So I'm gonna fast forward through all that. It was a blast, and nobody can do anything like that anymore. It is over. So forget it. I coach Princeton University now. You know what the drink up is? It's pizza at the field. See ya. Good later. You know that's it. It's over. So probably 96, 97. So spring season ends at Rutgers, and then you go right to PAC practice. So Joe Del Giorno was our coach. Miss you, coach. Love you. And he would bring us out to Princeton Athletic Club practices. And it's like, all right, here's the practice. It's gonna be great. I get to play with men. I'm telling you, these guys hated young people or something. They wanted to chase us away. Things weren't going too well in their lives. I don't know what was going on. They were trying to rip our heads off. But you know what? Only made us stronger. That's it. They don't make them like that anymore. But man, we used to know. But it was a blast. So the college season then, we're playing Jersey Cup. We were just playing games, and then we played sevens. And then as soon as it was over, summer sevens, just running out with Rafi. Rafi made everybody look good. Rafi beat 6 guys, and then he passes to you. You run 10 yards, score try. Like, hey, I did it. Look at me. Rafi would kick over the top and then score, and like, hey, we won. Oh, we're awesome. We all did great. But it was just a blast, man. Davey, Wilson, Gallus, I just wrote a bunch of names. Maisel not here, so you don't count. Sideshow, Rags, these were the backs we run all those plays, and it's just so much fun. The tours, so when you join rugby, you don't realize you get to travel the world with your best friends. Like, that's crazy. Like, I thought I was just playing a cool game and have some fun. But we went to New Orleans, Ireland, Montana, San Diego, Savannah, Argentina, Las Vegas, take trips to DC, Baltimore. Baltimore's a little shady back then, but I think it's shady.
Motel 8.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, we went to the Baltimore tournament, it was like, the night ended, it was like, yeah, don't go half a block that way. It's like, all right, half a block? Okay. It's fun no matter what. I didn't hear that. But one of the special parts about rugby, I got to play with my brother, man. Like, how often does that happen? We played, when we were young, our favorite sports were football and basketball. You know how many games of football and basketball I played in my life? 0. Like, our mom said no to football, and there was just no basketball opportunities. So, no to football for your whole entire life. You turn 18, you say, I'm going to play lifetime rugby, I guess. That sounds about right. But we got to play college, we got to play men's. It just never ends. It's so special. And then, like my man said, I didn't do it on purpose. That was my bromance right there. It just like, he shined on the field, and I said, this is the man, right? This is the one. This is the one I need. Our first game was South Jersey, right? Playing B-side, and you play the A-side, and then you start playing the B-side, and I took 3 pathetic steps and passed it to him, and then he ran 80 yards and scored a try, and I said, assist! I got an assist, I did it! And then we would do that over and over again. We play a game, especially late in the game, everybody's tired except Sets. Everybody on the other team, our team, we're all tired. We'd have a penalty 90 yards away. I'd look at Sets and be like, what do you think? Yep, let's do it. Bang! I tap it. He goes 90 yards. I'm still 50 yards away. He scores. I'm like, we did it! Hey! It's like Leo Raffy. We did it. So much fun. And then the Spaldacks. You mentioned a few awards. We gave so many awards out throughout the years in the Spaldacks. Any Brown Sugar Award winners out there? Are they out there? Oh, we've got Tariq. I see you over there, my man. Yes, Carlos in the back. Running away, I scared. Oh, me? I was talking to my friends. I see.
Runner-up, Brown Sugar.
Runner-up?
No. Technically I won, but nobody wanted to acknowledge it.
We gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back. So Seds and I, we used to make videos. We had like a budget, really high budget of $0 and terrible technology. And we would make these videos. We would spend so much time. Bridget knows, Christine knows. We would spend so much time making these videos, like just to entertain people for like 5 minutes. I think they appreciated it, I don't know. But our epic, hey, appreciation. That was Fabio.
I know.
That was Zoom before Zoom.
It was awesome.
Did you think it was Fabio?
I did not. It took me like a minute and maybe 2 minutes. But I still did.
Just so you know, I made a video of myself, pre-recorded it to pretend I was interviewing myself, and then I played the video and talked to myself pretending it was, that's what we're talking about. It was pretty funny. I thought it was good. Our epic P-Whipped award for Johnny Burke, where I was Jillian and you were Mr. Burke. Sedlak bought over 10 wardrobe changes. I don't even know. I don't know. That was pretty good. Awesome. Ellie Castellucci, the only one to win the reverse P-Whipped award. That was phenomenal. Where is she? Where everybody who ever won a reverse P-Whipped award, please stand up. That's just phenomenal. There it is. Yes. It's amazing. Oh man. We had so much fun. We had the Spaldacks. There's one thing that I probably won't mention, but I'll just say it real quick. Sedlak and I, one drink up, at least one. We offered like our man grooming. It's something. Yeah, it's something. It was very special. It was before YouTube and Facebook. Thank God. You had to be there. But I loved playing so much. So this is how our season would go. We start in February if we could, or March, we play in spring, summer, fall, we don't end. Then we miss it for 3 months, and it's like, life just sucks. And then you get back to it. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Crossroads, and you just play, and you play, and you play, and you just love it. And then we play Morris, Montclair, Monmouth, North Jersey. We hated all those guys. We go out to Montauk. Remember the Montauk days? How do you spell Montauk? Now, back in the day, here's my tangent. I'll go on a lot of tangents. We had the best website. Bill Lewis built and other people worked on it. We had the message board. That was social media before there was social media. Anybody could post on the message board. You guys remember that, right?
Yes.
And then we made it so you had to have a password to get on the message board.
Tricky.
And only like 5 people realized that you could change your name and then post on the message board. It was great. But these were the best. This was the best part. We go to play Montauk at home, and Scrummy Joe, host says, Scrummy Joe, F Montauk, you guys suck, and he spelled it wrong. Scrummy Joe doesn't even show up to the game. And our scrum master, Achilles, got the snot beat out the whole game, and they're screaming, yeah, you don't know how to spell it, this and that. And then the guy comes over, he's like, yeah, we really got after your scrum master because of the stuff he put on the message board. I'm like, hey, that was the wrong dude. And then a few years later, we played Montclair, and a certain somebody, a certain prop goes, I never lose to Montclair, they suck. And they came out so hard. They came out so hard after that game. You didn't play, you weren't there. They won that game because somebody had to get so fired up. That message board was good though, man. You mentioned the Black Door prop. Says, I was the original Black Door prop. Who fell for it? Who fell for it first?
Me!
You were first.
100%, I fell all over that shit. I was ready to beat the shit out of him.
I was Black Door prop because I changed my name to Black Door prop. We're coming after you. And then a year later. And then Achilles, I think Achilles fell for it. I don't know.
Achilles is the one who posted, I think this is one of ours. You made it worse. What are you doing?
He messed up. We could have got that going for years. Cutting edge technology. We were We were the Mark Zuckerbergs of the rugby world, basically. All right. So we had all that going. I didn't mention one team yet. Union. Oh my God. Andy, your alternate universe just disgusts me. I'm just gonna say something really quick about Union. Damien, Alex, how do you feel about Union?
Yeah!
The hate is real. And one thing about Monmouth, my favorite Monmouth moment ever. I just want to be louder than the people in the back talking. Ever! We beat the crap out of Monmouth one season. I don't know if you guys remember this. And then we go to a drink up. It was our home game, and it was at the Legion. And we go to do man of the match. We did our man of the match. We're like, oh, that's great. And then they came up and they were like, we don't think anybody played good enough to do man of the match. We're not doing it. Like, the fuck do you think we care? We got so happy. We got so excited. We started drinking and celebrating so much. I'm like, God, you guys are losers. Man, we love that. That was hilarious. I'm almost done. I only have 40 more minutes. Thanks, everybody. No, don't worry. I am almost done. Ian, I'm with you, bro. I got you. I just want to give a shout out to youth rugby. I've been doing youth rugby for a long time. I started with the PAC U19 team years ago. We got. Let's go! If you were on the PAC U19 team, Hillsborough U19 team, get up, please. I love these guys. We had so much fun. You guys played great. I got to play with you. And guys like Ian back there, he coaches the Franklin Youth High School team. And once in a while, Eric's younger brother plays. Once in a while. Inside joke, ha ha ha. But I'm just gonna tell you guys, if any of you are out there, you live in a town that doesn't have youth rugby, start a flag rugby team. I'll help you. Just contact me. It's really easy. You just need a field. You'll be able to get the balls through with Tom Pirelli's U.S. Rugby Foundation initiative. You'll be able to get this stuff for free. Just let me know. Get involved in the movement. And if you've been talking this whole time, you can be quiet now because it's my emotional moment. To all the new guys, we love you. You guys are freaking amazing. Like, I can't be there for the games. Some of us, we just can't make it. I would love to be out there. My body would love to be playing again. But I would at least love to be there. But I follow everything you guys do, just like a lot of people do, to build this team back up from where you were. Phenomenal. We're watching you. We love you. And we know how hard that grind is, so keep it up, man. You guys are doing great. We love it. Yes, and the women. Women's rugby is blowing up. I'm the head coach of Princeton University. The Princeton University women's team is varsity. There's like 40 varsity teams across the country. The women's game is just honestly blowing up. Won the bronze medal. Like, I love what you're doing. There's nothing like it. If you start a youth program, you'll see with flag rugby, boys and girls starting. You put a ball into these kids' hands, their faces light up. They have a blast. You were the difference. So make it happen. And just my last piece. I had a chance to play rugby for a really, really long time. My body was able to hold up for whatever reason. I loved every freaking minute of it. Every minute. It's because of you guys. It's because of my teammates. I don't trade. I trade none for nothing. All the games, the drink ups, the nights. That's what we do. Practice, game, drink up, hang out, have a party. That's what we would do, man. The tours, the trips, the parties, pack barbecues at Bill's and Maisel's house. Somehow we're just back to back, which is pretty phenomenal. It's all in Hightstown. My kids play rugby now. They play, they're having a blast, making friends. But the one thing that I miss the most, and everybody will say this, I miss my teammates, man. We just went to battle every week. We went to practice Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I don't know what the hell everybody else was doing on a Saturday morning, going to get some bagels, going to Home Depot, going to Target. I don't know what they were doing, but I know what I was doing. I know what my brothers were doing, and I loved it. I loved it so much, and I miss you guys so much. And it's so amazing to see everybody here tonight. It was just, it's overwhelming. So, to all you, just one thing, and we already know this, in rugby, when you get knocked on your ass, your teammates are they're gonna pick you up. Same thing happens in life. You get knocked down, you get beat down, and who's there for you? PAC Rugby Brothers. I know this. We lose people, things happen. Who's there to lift you up? Your family right here. Right? And I'm there for you too. I'm gonna knock this thing down, but pick it back up. Pick it back up. You're learning that lesson, brother. You're learning that lesson. But I wouldn't be the person who I am here today. I wouldn't be the father. I wouldn't be the teacher, the husband. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for you guys and it wasn't for rugby. So I love you. I appreciate you. And there's a tradition back in my day that we had when we finished a rugby game, win or lose. If you remembered to bring your harmonicas, please come up here and join me, because we're about to culture everybody.
What is it?
If you appreciate the finer arts, if you appreciate opera or ballet, sit tight, enjoy.
Cookie, I'm a little upset. You didn't say shit.
This song is called In Out, 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 In Out. There is one variation. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out.
1, 2, 3.
PAC Rugby, the best 50 years of my life. PAC Rugby, love you all.
I'm sad Cookie never told us that.
We should get everybody singing.
That was with no lessons, by the way.
Thank you again, Wilson, Saz, for the introduction, and again, congratulations, Spalding. We just got, I got a slideshow going on here now as we're wrapping up. Couple quick more minutes, but enjoy the slideshows. Just want a couple more things I want to say before we wrap up here. Okay, as we wrap up tonight's program, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Sander Budzinski for setting up a great weekend up in Lake Placid this summer. It was really great to play with so many PAC legends. Thank you to Mr. Mark Murphy and Danny Holcomb for setting up a great golf outing this fall. The PAC swag, the gold sponsorships, the prizes, everything, truly appreciate it. Thank you. To Mr. Bill Lewis and the PAC Foundation for putting together a great event tonight at a great location. And to Mr. Tom Terrell Billy for his unwavering support of PAC Rugby and for his love of the rugby game. I greatly appreciate everything you've done for and continue to do for this club. I also want to send a special thank you to all the wives, the girlfriends, the boyfriends, the husbands, the friends, and family members of PAC Rugby. Thank you. This is a wacky sport, and even a wackier club. God knows why we choose to beat ourselves up every Saturday. And not only do we're paying for 80 minutes every weekend, but actually pay dues for the pleasure. Your support for PAC and its members are the bedrock of this club. Without you as members, we would undoubtedly collapse. You put up with us twice a week after practice and give us strength on Saturday afternoons. So thank you. Keep it down, guys. I'm almost done. I promise. Shh, I hear you, Eddie. You put up, so thank you. And on a personal note, hold on, these guys taking a picture of here. That's PAC U19 right there. PAC Hillsborough U19.
Damn, that was kind of fucked up.
Okay, finish up on a personal note. I would like to thank my wife, Jillian, for all her support. 14 years ago, you were thrown into this PAC family wondering, who the hell am I dating and why do people keep calling them her? Sure enough, you found out right away. But for some reason, you stayed. And I'm forever grateful that you did. I've had many ups and downs becoming a member of PAC. Having you by my side has made the ups even higher and the downs not so bad. So thank you for joining my PAC family, and thank you for my PAC family for embracing her. Woo! Lastly, I want to say just a few words to the current members of PAC, both men and women. Hopefully, by the end of the night, you've seen that PAC is just more than just a club, right? We're a family. We are there for each other during the best of times. We are there for each other during the worst of times. We drink together, we cry together. We bond together over tales of scoring tries and buy drinks for knock-ons in the try zone. The reason so many of us are so close is because we do things together off the pitch. Many of us have traveled together. We've traveled the world to watch rugby matches together, celebrated birthdays together, have play dates with our kids, go to each other's weddings, Randman coming down, and attend each other's weddings, and unfortunately, when life throws you a curveball, be the shoulder to cry on when a family member passes away. As you can see from the pictures, a lot of these are mine. Some of my best and closest friends are my PAC brothers. But that didn't happen overnight. This is really for you guys, for the men's and women's team. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to build this up. Right? So my challenge to you is make memories with your PAC family. Get together outside of rugby. Spend some time with each other. Get to know each other more than just the sport you play on the pitch. Trust me, if you let the spirit of PAC come over you, you will make more memories than your phone can ever take pictures of. And if you know me, I know something about pictures. Picture packets, everyone's got them. And you'll make friendships that will last you truly for a lifetime. So, again, congrats to our newest Hall of Famers, and I look forward to 50 more years of PAC. We have some PAC 50th anniversary merch. Please buy. Proceeds will go back to the club. Keep enjoying the pictures up here. Get together and we'll have a party somewhere. I know someone just talking about it. And, Hall of Famers, please. Hall of Famers. All right, Hall of Famers, please come to the front. Hall of Famers, all Hall of Famers. Past and present Hall of Famers, please come up to the front. quick before we end. Everyone, we have a raffle going on. It's over there. I'm about to head over there. The winning prize is 2 Edge rock slashes by Christine Nachiani. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's awesome. Plus a bottle of whiskey. The proceeds from that raffle will go to the women's 15 side, getting them brand new jerseys. Go buy tickets. Go buy tickets now.
Just to add a little bit to that, just so you all know, when women started, it was only 7s, which means you only get 12 jerseys. So when we went out there doing our 15s thing, we had to grab 3 of the old men's jerseys to make 15 to make it happen. So we're at the point that they're 10 years old, folks. We've done worn them out, and we want to give them away to the ladies who've helped us start this whole club. Please go find that spot and donate. We need your help. $1,200 makes a set of our 15 jerseys for the women's side. It'll be the first set they've ever had. Be a part of that, please.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Go over there, have fun, enjoy the night. Bye. Oh yeah, Hall of Famers, come over here for a picture. Hall of Famers, get up here now. Brandon's gotta go.
I'm sorry, guys.
We gotta be out of here in 10 minutes, everybody. Sorry. Last pictures. Everyone needs to leave and go downstairs. We have to exit the